Hey everyone, it's Dot, and I'm actually here at my favorite restaurant that my husband and I love to go out to. It's called Bonefish Grill, and we always get great fish here. We always go low carb. Actually, it's one of the few places you really can go ketogenic at because the way they prepare the food for you, and also you can make a lot of requests. So, and they were nice of us to let us record here while we're waiting for our lovely fish to show up. Now, I know you're thinking, well, wait a minute, Dot. Your goal was not to eat out. Your goal was not to do anything like that. Well, my husband sort of came up with a solution for us, which was, while I don't like using food as a reward, I think it's more about using the experience of getting out of the house is the reward. So he had suggested, hey, what if we just do Sunday brunch or a lunch every Sunday, and that's our treat, but we don't go out any other time of the week. And that sort of, we just go out and enjoy ourselves, and sort of, it's a day where we're not worried about chores, we're not worried about, meltdowns. It's sort of like more of a carefree day, but we're going out to eat just once. And I like the idea, so we're giving it a try. So here we are. And you're probably wondering, well, have you been good, Dot? And yeah, I did actually. I made a lot of really good decisions this week. One was, it was the first time in a long time I was tracking everything that went into my mouth. Food, beverage, didn't matter if I was eating it or drinking it. I wrote it down, how many carbs I was actually eating. It was nice because I haven't done that in a long time, because you get really used to just sort of thinking, I got this, and clearly I didn't have this. The other thing I started doing was using my measuring cups, bringing out the scale and using that much more often. So, if I was eating meat at home, I always made sure I weighed it to make sure I was getting the proper amount that I was supposed to be eating, that I calculated, this is what I need to be eating each meal. I haven't been measuring my vegetables. I don't eat fruit, but the vegetables. And the problem with that, I would do like a handful, in theory, a handful of leafy greens is 1 cup. Well, I decided to measure that, and is that actually true? Well, I found out I was, strangely enough, shorting myself on leafy greens, but I was overdoing it on tomatoes, overdoing it on avocado, overdoing it on so many other things. And so I'm like, okay, so it was a good way to sort of catch myself and make that correction. So I was very happy about that. The other thing I noticed I started doing, and I think it was just I was not just feeling healthier, because obviously I'm getting over a cold, but I was feeling also good about myself, because I caught myself yesterday doing this, and I'd done it for a few days in a row, which was, in the first time in a long time, I was just putting on makeup in the morning. I'd get up, curl my hair, that's the other one, and put on some makeup. I hadn't been doing that for a very long time, and it was one of the things I basically made a goal of when I committed myself to a low carb life. Now, guys, you may not, this may not interest you, but there's a point to this. And that was, when I was overweight, I never really treated myself right. And so, in a way, for a woman, not putting on makeup in a way was my way of sort of disappearing and not making sure that no one really noticed me in any way, because it was a way of, in a way, hiding the weight, so to speak. It was really weird thinking, but that's sort of what my thinking was. Getting into the habit of putting on makeup. I even had a friend of mine show me how to do makeup, because I didn't even know how. I just stayed away from it all of my life. She did a great job, sort of gave me this makeover, and I wrote about it on my blog a few years ago. It was just great. I would put on makeup all the time, and it was just my way, in a way of treating and pampering myself a little bit. And also it was because I felt good about myself, so I treated myself right, if that makes sense. And for a woman, that can be makeup, maybe getting some nice expensive makeup on occasion. For guys, it may be, I'm not sure. My husband sort of has his own little things that he does, which it could be a matter of really throwing himself into a hobby, or he may, for him, it actually, there's a bit of weightlifting and stuff like that he likes to do to make himself feel good. But it also is good for him because it's healthy too. But anyway, so that sort of is how my week went. It's been really good. I've been really happy. And I'm planning to get it caught up on the blogging, since I'm feeling much better health-wise. And I'm really feeling like I'm turning a corner. I haven't been perfect food-wise all the time this week, but I'm making much better choices. And the key is I'm making decisions and making choices. I'm not just eating blindly and just shoving something in my mouth, which is awesome. So that's my week. I'm going to have some links below about this wonderful restaurant and their menu. Definitely encourage it, if you have a Bonefish by you, to definitely check them out. And with that, I'll see you next time.